Hi guys, welcome back to some more Dead by Daylight, and today we're doing something quite different. We are going to be going into the archives. Yeah guys, I have literally no idea what I'm going to do for this episode at all. I mean, I don't really know what to do because I guess we're going.
Don't play with powers you don't understand.
What's okay? So I'm guessing we're going to just Okay, I guess we're going to just read a bunch of this. I don't know. I just randomly started to record this, and I guess we're going to read the tome 4 lore. Even though I haven't, yeah, I haven't completed this challenge yet because I feared that it'll be way too frustrating. But that unfortunately means
Don't play Arcus.
that means I can't unlock this, which is unfortunate. But yeah, let's read.
Don't play with powers you don't understand. Lisa's grandmother scolds her for scratching a symbol into her textbook for good luck. Lisa apologizes for snooping through her things. She just wanted to know more about the old village town and the stories of witches and cannibals that were burned alive or chased out. She heard her mother say her grandmother had come across several books written in an unknown language with strange symbols. Her grandmother warns her to stay away from her books. You can attract great misfortune to yourself and others. Lisa wants to laugh but doesn't. She was just messing around and doesn't really believe in all this superstitious nonsense. No such thing as witches and cannibals, Gran. I was just hoping for a little luck on my algebra test. No harm, no foul. Her grandmother tells her the symbol she sketched was the very one she had used long ago to turn a cannibal into a gnarled, twisted swamp tree covered in putrid black ooze. It's so ridiculous, Lisa wants to burst out laughing, but she contains herself as she listens to her tale of cannibals and missing children. When her grandmother finishes her story, Lisa hugs her and kisses her soft, wrinkled forehead. Don't worry, Gran. I'm not going to turn into a swamp tree or be kidnapped by a bunch of cannibals.
Okay, okay, so just so you guys know, the lore that we're reading is the Hags lore, the one who we played in the last video. Yeah, her. Also there was a incident. I can't and my videos
Don't play.
my first video part 8 wouldn't process, so I had to redo it, and hopefully it uploads. I will put the videos in the right order on the playlist, though. And yeah, you'll probably get part 9 before part 8 because of a issue. But anyway, let's resume.
Lisa doesn't know if it's the symbols on her book or some kind of placebo effect, but her math scores are improving. Not as much as they should be, but still. She's passing, and passing is an improvement. Her friend Pam says it's all malarkey. There's no such thing as lucky symbols that can raise your grade. It's all smoke and mirrors, unfounded ancient superstition. Jokingly, Pam says she wants better marks too. She grabs Lisa's textbook and copies the symbol in her school agenda several times. Lisa feels a tug in her gut, and she stares at the symbols with concern. You really shouldn't do that. She yanks her textbook back from Pam. You shouldn't mess with powers you don't understand. Pam laughs. What's the problem, Lisa? If these things can help you pass math, they can help me pass English too. No big deal.
I have a feeling I know what's going to happen because I did see the video clip, but
Pam begs for another symbol or charm to help her on a test she isn't ready for with a teacher she despises, a teacher she ridicules for being an overweight pill-popping bore. Lisa refuses to entertain the idea and tells her she's not allowed to look at her grandmother's secret book, let alone share its contents with strangers. Pam shrugs and proceeds to scratch a symbol on her arm with a toothpick. She asks if Lisa heard what happened to the woman near the school. Lisa shakes her head. Pam laughs as she draws blood with a toothpick. Dumbass walked into the street while reading and splat. Crushed by a truck. Come! She flicks the toothpick to the ground, grabs Lisa's wrist, and leads her to a road a few blocks from the school. Lisa covers her nose and can smell the fermenting human fluids in the cracks of the pavement. Pam points out bloodstains and clumps of hair in the road and makes jokes at the dead girl's expense. Lisa grabs her wrist angrily. You mustn't laugh at the dead. Pam yanks her wrist away. Stop being creepy, Lisa. It's not like she's still around to get offended. Besides, your symbols got me covered with all kinds of luck. Lisa stares at Pam's arm with concern and hopes the dead girl's spirit didn't take offense. Her grandmother says sometimes spirits linger, especially when they don't want to be dead. Last thing she needs is some dark force following her for the rest of her life.
Uh-oh. Okay, I knew that her friend was a jerk and all because, Jeesh. Oh boy.
Pam's English teacher died of unknown causes, and Pam's dancing with joy.
I just want to mention that passing poo that was really dark. Laughing at someone who died, and also I hope that them swearing is not going to get me demonetized like always. But anyway, let's resume.
Pam's English teacher died of unknown causes, and Pam's dancing with joy, relieved she doesn't have to do his stupid test on some irrelevant dead author. I don't care what English teachers say. James is unreadable and confusing, a pseudo-intellectual who kept everything vague because he didn't actually know what the hell he was talking about. Lisa shrugs, disagrees, but doesn't want to get into it with her friend, her annoying friend. She likes his books, the way his style allows her to live in his character's head for a little while. She finds his novel about an artist to be a fun, formless, dreamlike stew with plenty of style and substance. But what does she know? She's only 16, and her English marks are below average. Pam hoots and hollers, and with a mischievous smile, she reveals a hand covered with ink-smudged symbols. Best luck in the world. No test, no lardass, no dead authors for the rest of the year. Thanks, Lisa. Lisa stares at the symbols on her hand and wants to yell at her for being so careless with things they both don't fully understand. She closes her eyes and hopes her English teacher wants to be dead and that he isn't lurking about.
Okay, I did read a few of these archive stories, but geez, I did know that. I knew that a lot of them were dark and all, but I mean, the most recent one I watched were very dark, but geez. Her friend literally doesn't even care.
The class is at the funeral out of respect for their beloved English teacher. The pallbearers struggle and strain under the weight of the coffin. Pam leans toward Lisa and whispers how lucky she is and how unlucky the poor pallbearers are to have to lift such a heavy coffin. Imagine having to carry that lard ass to his grave. Lisa nudges Pam and tells her to quit it. As the pallbearers approach them, she feels a sudden tug in her gut. An instinct tells her to take some distance from her friend. An image of lightning striking Pam flashes through her mind. She wonders if an angry spirit could make that happen. Every muscle, organ, vessel fried in an instant for her hubris. Pam snaps Lisa out of her thoughts with another tactless comment. Lisa hears her grandmother's voice in her head, telling her that her friend has tempted fate by laughing at someone else's misfortune, for having laughed at the dead. She doesn't really believe in all her grandmother's superstitions, and yet she inches away from her friend, staring at the darkening clouds, waiting for lightning to strike Pam down.
And that ain't gonna happen because... oh boy. Yeah, guys. The video time. The teacher.
Hey.
Ain't so lucky are you anymore now, Palm, are you? Jeesh. I think we have time to read one more.
Ace rushes into uh-oh.
Okay, I really don't know about the story. I've only seen the video clip. I think what it does is that Ace tries to I think Ace tries to get money by getting beaten up and see how long he can survive. I think that's what it's about, but it might be about something completely different. And anyway, rambling over, let's resume.
Ace rushes into uh-oh's sports bar, still pumped with the excitement of the mixed martial art title defense he just watched. Female lightweight MMA champion Micah James knocked the challenger out in the first round, and now he's ready for another thrill. He sits with his buddy Wallace. Did I miss anything? Wallace shakes his head. Nah, they're preparing the bowl now. Ace laughs out loud. Hilarious. The guy's going to try to swallow a bowl of slugs. Only at uh-ohs would they hold such a ridiculous bet. Wallace nudges Ace and levels a wager. 10-1, he pukes it out. Ace looks at the idiot in the bowl of living slugs in front of him. His instincts tell him, this guy's actually going to do it. Ace just cleaned Wallace at the MMA fight, and he doesn't mind taking more of his money. Ace scrutinizes the idiot just to make sure his gut isn't leading him astray. Most people would puke trying to swallow the first slug, but not this guy. This guy knows what he's doing. He's a winning horse, a sure thing. All right, let's say double our last bet. Wallace nods and assures him he's going to lose. Ace smirks. We'll see about that. As he stares beyond the idiot preparing to swallow slugs, he's amazed to see Micah James at the bar in her signature tracksuit. They exchange a look. He points at his fan shirt and extends a thumbs up for a great title defense, but she looks past him as she nurses a beer. Wallace sees Micah and nudges Ace. She could kick your ass in 2 licks. Ace scoffs. That's a bet you would lose, asshole. I'm double her size and strength. Wallace snickers. I say you don't last 10 minutes. Nah, you don't even last 5 minutes. Wallace is talking shit just to talk shit. Before Ace can respond, a bell sounds, and everyone goes silent as the idiot lifts the bowl of thick, moist slugs to his trembling lips. Ace stops breathing, narrows his gaze, pulls out his lucky alligator tooth, holds it in his fist, and just knows he's got a winner. In a few short minutes, he'll be laughing all the way to the bank. Come on, idiot. Swallow those slugs.
Okay, yeah, so apparently Ace is saying that someone eats the slugs. Ooh. Okay, I knew that Ace was just the guy who gambles a bunch. And, yep, I already knew that about Ace, and, I probably should have expected that, but anyway, let's move on.
Ace doesn't understand what happened. He had Wallace dead to rights. His winning horse confidently slurped down the slugs one at a time as though he were enjoying a bowl of fresh sushi. Then he stops with the last one dangling out of his mouth. Cocky little shit. He smiles and swallows. But the damn slug doesn't go down. Not as he planned. Ace can see a lump oozing and squirming down his throat. It slithers down, but it must have tickled his gag reflex or something, because he instantly loses his smile. There's a silence. The idiot begins to squirm uncomfortably in his seat. The crowd goes, uh-oh, and all of a sudden, a projectile of slug chum shoots out his mouth, and Ace hangs his head, realizing he just lost everything. Wallace laughs out loud and slaps his back. Told you so. Ace doesn't say anything. Tell you what, double or nothing if you last 5 minutes with Mika James. Ace stares up at Wallace. What's in it for you? Wallace narrows his gaze. Your lucky alligator's tooth. Ace hesitates. Wallace smiles. What? Thought you were double her size and stronger. Ace looks at Mika, at Wallace, at Mika again, and nods. I'll knock her out in 2 minutes and then buy her a drink. Wallace smiles, stands, and heads over to the manager of the club to make the arrangements. Ace stands and figures he may as well introduce himself to the champ.
Okay, okay, so now we get into the part which I've seen in the video, I think.
What the hell was I thinking? Ace staggers to his wobbly feet. Oh yeah, I wasn't. Mika steps toward him. He throws a desperate right. She ducks with a grin. He follows with a left. She sidesteps and he sees black and a few stars fading in and out of existence. What the hell did she hit me with? He doesn't know. All he knows is he's on his ass again and his eyelids feel like cement. He forces them open and stares up at the timer. 30 seconds. How can that just be 30 seconds? Either the timer is rigged or time itself is slowed down to an impossible crawl. Shit! I'm in trouble. But I ain't losing my lucky gator's tooth. He doesn't know much right now, but he knows Mika's got him outclassed in every way except guts and luck. Ace stands on wobbly legs and smiles at one of the dozen Mikas swirling around him. He regards a dozen clocks, narrows his gaze, and calculates. 4 more minutes. I can do this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's see if Ace can do it.
The crowd is hollering and jeering. Fine, fine, fine. Ace stares at the timer and is relieved to pass the 2-minute mark. Only 3 minutes to go. He just wants to last and has completely given up on the idea of knocking Mika out. He'll be happy if he can land just one punch. He thinks he might need to grab her hair and punch below the belt just to get her to back off. But she moves faster than his eyes can track, and he's convinced his feet are turning to spaghetti. She stares at him like a hungry tiger and throws a roundhouse kick. He ducks, laughs, just as he feels her hand knit over his head and her wicked knee in his face. Black fills his vision. A moment later, he's on the ground, swirling in a pool of stars with the crowd giving him a count in unison. He's up at 5, with a fat lip and a pathetic smile.
Okay, I don't know what happened. Okay, what's gonna happen next? Let's see.
Minutes don't feel like minutes. They feel like hours, days. 3 minutes and Ace wants to throw in the towel, but his pride won't let him. His common sense is telling him to quit before she breaks another rib. He gets the sense he won't be laughing to the bank, but to the hospital. But he can't give up. He won't give up, and he certainly won't lose this bet. He's going to win, even if winning kills him. For a moment, he half remembers a quote about sitting on a stove with a pretty girl, or a pretty girl cooking at the stove, or something about a pretty girl and a stove. He's getting it all wrong, but he knows it has something to do with time. Mika smashes a fist straight into his puffy face, and he staggers back and nearly buckles over. He manages to keep his balance and tries to smile, but just as soon as his lips part, he somehow finds himself on the hard floor, staring at a crowd that seems miles away, laughing as they give him a count in unison. He rolls on his belly and pushes himself up, groggy and spaghetti-kneed. It's gonna take a lot more than that to keep me down.
Okay, he's still going.
2 rights and a nose that's already broken. She clearly doesn't want to lose. She wants to knock him out, but that won't happen. Ace won't let it happen. Outclassed in every way except guts, he clambers to his feet. He tries to smile at her. That didn't hurt, but it did. Really did. Before his smile breaks, he finds himself in a headlock. Shit! She's fast! Mika twirls him around like a sack of potatoes and thrusts him into a table. The table breaks. So does something in his chest. He thinks it's a rib, but he didn't think he had any more that could be broken. He gets up, manages a grin, and charges her, grabs her rock-hard arms, pins her to the wall. A surge of adrenaline fills his entire being. He's got her now. He shoots his fist out at her face. She drops to the side, and he shatters his hand against the stone wall as he feels her lift him off the ground. A moment later, she twirls and throws him into the crowd, with his broken hand swelling and throbbing with every heartbeat. The crowd scatters and lets him fall hard on the ground. Something cracks. He hopes it's not a bone. Everything is distorted. He feels like he's underwater, listening to a muted crowd hollering for him to get back up or stay down. He can't quite tell anymore. He stands and stares at the timer, feels a sharp pain in his mouth, and senses an awkward gap. My tooth! My fucking tooth! He looks around the floor and sees his front tooth lying in a glop of blood and saliva. It's still attached to the roots. He glances over the amused and entertained crowd and finds Wallace looking pale and frightened as Mika suddenly cuts through him like chaff.
Okay. Looks like Wallace is worried about Ace. I don't blame him, because you don't want your friend to die. Okay, now let's resume. And Ace is getting beaten up really badly here.
Ace dives under a table for refuge as Mika grabs him by the ankle and pulls him out. She lifts him over her head, twirls him, and breaks him against another table. He stands, turns to face her, shakes his head until he clears his vision. He lurches and throws a left at one of the 3 faces he sees. Mika ducks and delivers a slashing right hook to the body, then drops him with a devastating left hook. He rolls over on the ground, wheezing, feeling his jarred and jutting ribs. He probably should be dead. He doesn't even want to think about the hospital bill. Hospital? He doesn't need a hospital. He hasn't seen a doctor in 10 years and certainly doesn't need one now. His body can heal on its own. He pushes himself up but doesn't feel much below the waist. He shoots a weak punch with his good hand. Mika grabs his fist midair and crushes his fingers into a mangled mush. Mercilessly, she grabs his arm and pops his elbow. He screams with blood gurgling out of his mouth. She wants him down, even if it means killing him. Ace suddenly realizes Mika made her own bet. His entire body floods with endorphins as he wobbles around spinning floor. A glance at the timer reveals he's only got 20 seconds left. He's going to win, even if he loses every bone in his body. What more can this kitten do to me? He clambers back to his feet and smiles with blood gushing out of his mouth. She charges at him like a wildcat and is a whirlwind of devastating blows. He's hit 12 times and flattened with a wicked uppercut. The crowd is screaming and hollering for Mika to lay him out for good. But Ace won't lose his gator tooth, even if it cost him his real tooth. Seconds pass like minutes. The bell sounds. It's over. It's finally over. Ace collapses. Wallace stares down at him with a newfound respect and a wad of cash in his hands. Ace stares at the money and manages to mumble something. "You bastard, you bet on me?" Wallace pulls Ace up and hands him his tooth. "Put this in your mouth to keep the nerves moist. Keep them there until we reach the hospital. That's one for the books, buddy." Ace shakes his head. "I'm good. Don't need a doctor." Wallace laughs. "Dude, you need a doctor, a dentist, and a fucking shrink."
Yeah, Ace won. I kinda knew that he did, but okay, yeah, so that was really intense for Ace. Okay, now what? Okay, now let's watch the video and this shows the fight and it doesn't go into more detail because it doesn't display everything mentioned in these 5 logs, but yeah, let's stop story and watch it.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
Well done, Ace.
2 rights
Well done.
and a nose that's already broken. She...
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm going to end the video right now. Let me know if you guys want to want me to read these ones as well. And see you guys in the next video.